This is Hannibal here with a daily wrestling news update. Last Friday's episode of AEW Rampage, which is getting canceled, so it's no surprise it hit the lowest viewership of any AEW show in the history of AEW, and it did air in its regular time slot with no major competition. 172,000 viewers. 0.05 rating. To put that into perspective, I get like 3 times that many viewers a day here, at least on the Hannibal TV. And I'm just a regular person. So it seems like they just don't want to put any effort into trying to make the program better because they think it's getting canceled. So apparently, according to the Wrestling Observer, they're doing 40% off tickets at many upcoming AEW shows to try and move ticket sales. They're still going to these large arenas that hold, in some cases, up to 20,000 and only getting a couple thousand in them, and most of the time, a lot of the times, not even like 2,500, and sometimes under 2,000. Kenny Omega returned on a New Japan show, which, of course, I mean, I don't want to be negative here, but I heard Brian Alvarez say on Wrestling Observer Radio, AEW prioritizes other companies above their own. For instance, they have Kenny Omega's return in New Japan. I mean, they do work closely with New Japan, but it's just like a lot of these nights when there's Friday Night Rampage, they'll send their wrestlers like MJF or Mercedes Moné that they're paying millions and millions to wrestle for CMLL, and it'll just be like no names on Rampage. It boggles my mind why, instead of trying to make your product as best as possible, you oftentimes false advertise people that are on posters for your own shows to send them to other places, and then it leaves fans with a bad taste in their mouth. But whatever. Raw was on when I was at the gym tonight. And I really don't. I mean, WWE is doing great right now, but while I was watching it, I was actually glancing at it, and like I watched a lot of the Viking Raiders versus Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods match. I believe it was Xavier Woods, and I just couldn't help but notice how choreographed everything looked. So that's I like the Bruiser Brody types, or even the Ultimate Warriors, the Goldbergs. Which, by the way, it looks like Goldberg's going to wrestle Gunther at Royal Rumble in the retirement match. Gunther, who's now lost to Sami Zayn and just lost to Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel. And isn't Gunther the champion, the second champion? I don't know. But I don't understand a lot of things. I know these companies are making a lot of money, but I just don't understand some of the booking. Congratulations to Davey Boy Smith Jr., who I've known since he was about 14 years old, who won the All Japan Triple Crown Championship yesterday. And he actually sent us a video that I posted a couple days ago saying that match was coming up. It's the biggest title in All Japan. I'll say it a million times. He's the best technical wrestler in the world. And while a guy like Bryan Danielson may also be a good technical wrestler, I would put Davey Boy Smith ahead because he's trained so extensively in MMA and he's got size and strength. So as far as a person that would actually be able to beat, in theory, the majority of most people, Davey Boy Smith Jr. probably could, because Bryan Danielson is not actually that big, and size does still matter. I mean, I don't hold any belts, and just off of my amateur wrestling, I've walked into gyms, beat much higher belts than me, just using net cranks and I guess what you would call catch wrestling. So, anyways, I just congratulations. I'm not. I like Bryan Danielson too. I might not be a fan of like watching him, but I respect him. But I do think that Davey Boy Smith Jr. is a better technical wrestler than him. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are tuning out, but I understand that Rampage is canceled, but why give up on it? I mean, I looked at the card, nothing even popped out to me. Like it's like they're just gonna let it die as horrible death as possible. Anyways, I'm glad that there's so many places for people to make money. They started this new WWE ID program for independent wrestlers too now that's going to help fund independent wrestlers, but at the same time there's the battle with AEW. So it's a way of like locking up standout independent wrestlers at an early level. By the way, Joel Gerhardt is putting on a show at the ECW Arena May the 3rd. And you know what? I may just wrestle on that show. We'll see. I've always wanted to wrestle there. We'll see. I'm going to be entering a very strict training program. I'll probably be moving out of Canada, at least for the winter, and really putting a great focus on my training. Starting pretty soon. So I wish everyone a good night. Tony Khan, here's the main problem I think with AEW. Not that anyone cares. Some of you might, since you follow this channel. It's almost at 400,000 subscribers, so please subscribe if you haven't. I think Tony Khan just wears too many hats. He has too many jobs to do an amazing job at any of the jobs. So he's just got to delegate more, I truly believe. Anyways, guys, have a great night. Thanks for watching.